actually teach, it's a modification of the My Plate model. I call it my healthy plate model. So on half of the plate in general, you want to include vegetables. It's essentially plants that you can eat, or parts of plants that you can eat. Leafy green vegetables like broccoli, spinach, kale, red and orange vegetables like sweet potato, red pepper, carrots, etc. Beans, peas, and lentils also count, but that also counts a little bit towards your protein as well. Starchy vegetables, I actually put in the grains side, because starchy vegetables like potatoes and corn, yucca, yams, these guys tend to be higher calorie. They have much higher calories than, other types of vegetables like, the greens and bell peppers and that kind of thing. Basically, you reserve like this fourth of the plate for those like higher calorie things when you're trying to like watch your calories, watch your caloric intake. And then finally, you have miscellaneous vegetables, things like beets, celery, artichokes. They don't quite neatly fit into the other categories. Vegetables, you can do like 2 servings of vegetables to fill up half of your plate, or if your calorie intake allows, or if your sugar intake allows, you can do a serving of vegetables and a serving of fruit, and do like fruit for like dessert or something. The main difference between like vegetables and fruits, as I teach it, is the fruits are the foods that have a little bit higher sugar content, that are sweeter, like so strawberries and grapes, watermelon, melon, berries. These have higher sugar content, and not everybody can eat them. The recommendations for people with diabetes have changed in the last couple of years. We used to say stay away from high sugar foods that can spike your insulin, but these days the guidelines are a lot more relaxed, and it's on a much more individualized basis. You kind of have to work on that with your doctor or with your dietitian if you have diabetes. You can in some cases include fruit, but you have to be careful about it and just monitor your blood sugar. And the same thing with the grains and starch. Like a lot of times people with diabetes avoid starches or starchy vegetables, and that's fine. Depending on your diet, depending on what your doctor, depending on what your dietitian tell you, you might be more flexible with that. And it's a general rule of thumb that you can follow to eat healthy, and modify it as needed, throughout the course of your fitness journey. If you have higher protein needs, then you can increase the proportion of protein on your plate. If you have higher calorie needs, you can increase the amount of the grains and starches. If you are in a cut, a lot of times I will have just veggies and protein, and for dinner, and I might follow this for lunch and for breakfast, but for dinner I might just do the veggies and protein. So you can modify it, you can plug and play, but it's a general like good baseline to follow.